Hello people, and welcome back to part 7 of our City Skylines build guide. And I hope you enjoyed the time lapse before this. We have a nicely decorated beach area now, and I'm a real big fan of this cave that we've got going on. It's like kind of sliding down by the side. Lots of embedded rocks that have been buried in the sand over time. I really like the way that this is looking. But it is finally time to move on from the island. We may come back here and do some other little decorating bits eventually. But for right now, I wanted to start expanding onto this. So I bought this tile here. You can see we now have this space unlocked. And there's something I wanted to do today. I kind of want to simultaneously work on a bit of a farming community that is going to develop in this big, lush, fertile green land that we have over here. And then there's kind of this space over here as well. Now I was thinking, what do we need? And having looked at our education requirements, we do now have nearly 3,000 capacity for university students, and a few milestones ago we unlocked the trade school campus. And I think this would be a really nice place to put it, right along by the river here. We can do some really nice things and detailing with the paths, kind of that follow the river. Have some kind of nice riverside dormitory accommodation for the students. So I think we're going to do that, but for that to happen, first of all, we need to give them a highway connection. Now, I was thinking of also making a bridge over here from this connection, so they don't have to always take the highway or the ferry. We won't build that today. Let me know what you guys think about that. So if we turn this road here, it would obviously connect and then carry on into a bridge right across the river. Or do you think that would kind of ruin the island feel? And there is only kind of one road in and one ferry out of the island. Let me know what you guys think about that. But I'm just going to go ahead and cut to a time lapse here. You guys don't need to see me build this. I'm just going to sink the highway and create a simple entrance and exit point like we did with the airport in Fremwood for those that watched that. So we'll dive straight in and we'll get on with that right now. Okay, so that gave me a lot more trouble than I wanted it to. Yeah, that wasn't the most efficient way to build that type of interchange. I didn't leave myself nearly enough room. But it's functional for right now. We can come back later and tidy it up. Like, these things are a little too intense for high-speed roads. I wonder if we can actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so for these roads right here, I'm going to go ahead and set these to 30 miles an hour, just so they don't fly around these corners doing 80 miles an hour, which would be crazy. It's not what we want, but it'll do for right now, and it gives us access to this part of the map via the highway. So let's go ahead and dive in and start mapping out what we want to do here. So I'm going to make sure and make all my snapping is back on. And I think I'm going to take this out. I'm going to plop in one of the small roundabouts. Let's try and get this as straight on as we can. Yeah, seems to be good. And then let's upgrade this into the high-speed highway with sound barriers. There we go, that's okay. And then I want these guys to be... This guy can be the nice tree road. We won't have an exit here. And this guy can just be the regular road. And then let's have him come down there, so we know we're going to map out a small town down there with some farming community. And then this guy is going to introduce himself into the trade school. So to go ahead and start looking at our trade school campuses, which came with the campus DLC, we need to go ahead and paint out an area. Now this is going to be our campus area, which is pretty explanatory. And I'm just going to kind of map out where I want this. So it's going to follow the edge of the highway and up along the river. Just like that. And then I'm going to bring it right up to here. And this is going to function as the city's trade school. Now, I made the mistake in Fremwood of making too many universities to the point where the 3 of them that were in there never had the chance to reach max level. So this is going to be the only university in the city for quite a long time. Probably until we get into building the finer parts of our downtown area. In the case of kind of detailing with the kind of more grander buildings of the higher density part. So, suggestions down in the comments to name this area. So I'll just briefly explain what happened in Fremwood. I built 3 different universities. So we had our trade school, our liberal arts college, and university campus area, which is kind of a generic city university. And the problem with that was that we had not enough students to reach the capacity that we had for universities, which led to us running a huge amount of empty spaces. And for campus areas to level up, similar to university areas, they do actually need to hit a number of students, and because there were so many universities, they never actually hit them. So a bit disappointing. So here we have the trade school campus. So this building defines a campus area type to trade school, allowing reputation progress of the campus area, and works as headquarters for city services. Trade school campus buildings provide university level education. So not only are these kind of satisfying the education demand, they'll also improve the city services around the city, such as policemen, fire stations, etc., jails, schools and whatnot. Let's go ahead and place it. Now we're going to have, so it's run at Belmont College. Get your suggestions in the comments to change this. Name it after yourself if you like, name it after some inside joke with your friends, whatever, just get to naming it. So now we've placed the initial administration building, we're going to unlock a bunch of stuff. We have trade school dormitories, the trade school study hall, groundskeeping, and a book club. And there's a whole bunch of stuff we yet to unlock, and all this will become available as we upgrade the campus area. So interestingly enough, we have some. Let's take a sip of my drink. Excuse me. So right now here we have a police academy. Now this thing's cost us $1,200 a week, which is pretty pricey. The budget can take it at the moment. We're rocking a nice healthy 12,000 income, and it's going to cost 75 grand to build. However, the police academy, during the studies, cadets work with police officers and also keep an eye on the jail cell occupants, increasing patrol car count, jail's capacity and police department efficiency. Faculty increases campus area attractiveness and requires a trade school campus area. So this is going to make our police officers and jails in the city be more efficiently. So their radius of effect, let's go ahead and find one of our police stations. There's one right here. So this thing is going to get a bigger radius of effect. So if we go ahead and grab our police station stuff, we can see that when we place them, I'm just going to place it right now, we can see that there's a radius of happy faces that spans out from this. When we build the police academy, that radius will get better, and police will also be able to reach more crimes, jails will be able to hold more people, so it essentially just makes your police stations better. So it's definitely something that's useful. We're not going to build it straight away, instead we're going to start plan out our campus area. So I think I want a road. So the interesting thing about campus areas as well is that we're also going to have 2 paths here. So we're going to have this path here with decorations, and then one that's just a regular one. There's very little difference. This one just has trees, but both of them kind of have garbage bins and benches and lights and street lamps and stuff. But the interesting thing about them is you can actually place these buildings against them. You don't need a full road to actually place them. So I'm going to go ahead. Now I do want one single road going through the campus area, so I'm going to bring this guy up. Do I want it right alongside? Yeah, I think I do. So let's bring out the road here. And then I'm going to bring the road up to about there. And then here. And then we'll leave it there for right now. So I know I want to kind of place something along the road there. But let's go ahead and actually map out some of our kind of campus paths. So right here we have this, there's kind of already a built-in path around the administration building. You can see the snap nodes around the edge. So I think I'm going to go ahead and join one here. Now, I think it'd be nice to have the students right by the river. So let's go ahead and kind of see where this banking starts to decline. It's around there. I'm going to bring this up by 400. And then let's place in our trade school dormitory. So you can see now on these paths, you can snap it to roads as well. There's nothing wrong with that. It obviously has to be in a campus area, but you can actually snap these to the path, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and place this right there. So the trade school campus is going to be looking right over the river. So these are the dormitories. So these are going to house our students, so they can actually live on campus. Let's go ahead and place in 2 dormitories right now. We'll have them right next to each other, right by the river. And we will decorate the riverbank here as well. I wonder if actually we can go ahead and grab some of the quay sides to place in along here, and that's going to give a little more purpose to this shoreline. Let's have that in right there for right now, and we can maybe make them a little park out front. That's something we could possibly do. Okay, so let's have a look what we need to level up here. So when we're looking at the university info panel, you can see we have a reputation level, which at the minute is unrecognised, and there's 5 different levels to move through. We need to meet a few requirements in order to hit this next level, and the first one of these is academic works, and we have a tab up here for academic works exclusively. So these are kind of grants for your students to work on, things that can directly affect the city, and you can also display these in museums, which unlock through having higher levels university. You can actually display the academic works, which is really cool. We need to hit 500 students, which is pretty obvious. We need to just have a capacity of 500. We also have to have campus attractiveness. So when we're looking down here as well, we can see that we have, if I can find one, there we go. So reading the description here, groundskeepers are working hard to keep campus area premises clean, tidy and aesthetically pleasing. Building increases campus attractiveness, which is what we need to level up, of course, and the land value of the campus area, and it will need to be placed inside the campus area as well. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in this trade school study hall somewhere. So kind of thinking, you know, our university students are kind of rocking it around here. This is where they're going to be living, so it makes sense to have the university study hall right nearby. So I'm going to place this side on the road. Let's have that right in there, as close as to the road we can get it. Now, of course, our university students would like to have access over here. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll keep this path as the main one with decorations to go up there for right now. Let's extend this road out a little more so we've got some more room to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and grab in one of the normal paths. I'm going to bring that right down there. So that's going to give students direct access across. And we'll probably also draw one in from here as well. That's going to be a nice little start. And we've got some nice little room developing in here, so let's see what else we can place. We also have trade school groundskeeping. So we can place this in... Let's see, where do we want the groundskeeping stuff? Actually, maybe we can make this a little kind of mini area. So let's go ahead and place our groundskeeping staff right here. That's going to be 5 grand. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my campus path again. I'm going to draw that up to not commit like that. Right up to there. I don't think I can actually grab that in there, but that's fine. So now we have a groundskeeping thing, but I want this to be surrounded by trees a little bit, so he almost looks as though he is kind of keeping his own grounds tidy. So create a little bit of a woodland around here. There we go. And then we'll have the brush size down to single. And then we're going to wood the back of the dormitories as well. And probably around here. And I think we'll also hook the path up from the actual main building. Just the one way there. So now I've got a little groundskeeping unit. And there he has a little truck. It's all very cool. Let's go ahead and hit play and start watching some students coming into the campus right now. So straight away, you know, it's all looking very professional. It's very technological. And of course, do make sure you are actually powering your facilities. Let's bring in a power line right along the coast here. And we'll just hook it temporarily up to there until it's ready to go. And then I'm just going to follow this road. And then we'll follow the path as well. Just to bring the students in. And then there's actually a perfect connection point right there. And that's going to allow power to flow into the campus area. Very nice indeed. I want to make a bit more of a grand entrance out of kind of here. Let's go ahead and have a look at some paths maybe. Let's come out by 60. And then up to the top. And then we'll have 1, 2, and 3. And 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm also going to head into our park life stuff. Go into the city parks and grab a couple of lights just to kind of flow along with each tree. And then when we look at this place at night time, these trees are going to be nicely lit up away from these street lights that come in with the road. Let's have a look at the buildings we had to place. So we've now got the study hall, the dormitories, the groundskeeping, and the book club as well. So let's have a look at what the book club does. For all students, the book club offers an opportunity to read books, obviously, and discuss them in relaxing environments. Book clubs increase campus attractiveness, which is what we need to do to hit the next level. And of course, they must be placed within the trade school campus area as well. So I think a book club will probably have near the study hall, you imagine. So let's go ahead and drop it in right about there. I think that's looking alright right now. Let's go ahead and flesh out some more trees. How's that looking for right now? That's not too bad at all, I don't think. Your campus areas can quickly become very barren if you leave a lot of open areas, so I'm kind of going for a nice kind of wooded feel. You know, there's a lot of like natural woodland on the campus area. We'd even make a bit of a park feature out of there, almost like a bit of a recreational space for students to come and relax in. We've got some abandoned buildings over here, and this was because we had low education in our university area, but right now you can see we have capacity 1,050, however we do have 2,590 actually eligible for education in the city. We can see that we've hit the students, however we are still ever so slightly lacking in the campus attractiveness capacity. So let's go ahead and maybe place in another study hall right next to it. You can always delete these if you don't like them right next to each other, but it will just help hit that next level, which we have done. And the only thing we're waiting on now is academic works. So at the end of this academic year, bar when it fills up, obviously in England this is like September to June. It might be different in other parts of the world, I'm not sure. But we can actually tell them to do an academic work, which will cost us 50 grand. but we can more than afford it right now. So let's go ahead and tell them to do something in IT and engineering. I'm going to give that. You can also increase the number of academic staff, which is going to increase the budget. And this is going to, well-hired academic staff accumulate a bonus to the academic work creation change throughout the time span of the academic year. So this is just going to increase the efficiency and number of academic works that comes in. And you do also have an academic work chance creation. So they're not guaranteed. They will have a chance to create, and based on what is in your building, and you can have a look by following the, hovering, over this little eye. And you can see that chance is going to increase by increasing the number of academic staff through this bar. And then also buildings will have a chance to affect it as well. There's nothing there right now. But really all we need to do now is leave this to grow and kind of watch it expand down this space here at a nice angle. It's going to look really cool when this is all filled in with campus stuff. So it is a bit of a slow burner, but they do look really cool when they do eventually complete. I think we're going to round out this episode by starting to map out a little bit of our campus area right now. So our ferry port is struggling from crime, and there's only one person here. So this guy is he's a technician at the ferry stop. It looks as though he's causing crime by himself. So these people are actually getting passengers because people are coming to work here for literally no reason. So let's give the ferries a reason to actually come over here. Let's kind of knock this back a little bit. I'm going to map this road right the way down. And knock it back even a little further. And then bring it up to about here. Now let's turn on our curved roads. And then I'll line up with this one. There we go. There's the road network, and we can connect that up really nicely. So I do also want another road to come out right alongside, probably about here. Yeah, so we have a nice little intersection here where the road's going to split off. And then I want to go freeform with this with no snapping on. And then I want to kind of bring this out in a nice long curve right about there. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete some of these props that spawned in with the map. And then I want to go and grab... So I'm thinking right here, let's start out building the village along the coast here. This seems like a nice spot. So this can be like a high street, and let's have a little bit of residential come in about here, I think. Let's have this over here. This is only kind of small town vibes that I'm going for, a little farming community. It's not going to be kind of the small town vibes that we had on the island. We do want to do something a little different. Let's go ahead. So almost imagine that you're starting a brand new town here. You know, you're mapping it out for the first time. It's away from everything that we've done. Let's have a little bit of commercial on the front, and then all these guys in the middle can be residential. I'm going to go ahead and grab a dirt path. And again, my terrible snapping skills. There we go. That's never usually happens first time. To snap that guy in there. There we go. And they've got a nice little cut through there. And of course these guys are going to need water. So let's make sure that they are hooked up to the grid. Then I'm going to go ahead and place a park in here, I think. Maybe a large playground to kind of nestle in. The power isn't going to sink through that, unfortunately. If we drop it there, will it? Yes, it will. That's going to be ideal then. And let's start to think about a little bit of a riverside path along here. Our snapping is turned off. Let's go freeform here for a little while. This guy's going to just kind of, again, zooming out can really help you get some nice curves and contours with your paths. And I do want this to come all the way down here. Right up to the trade school. But I'll tell you what I'm actually going to do to an extent is we're going to actually upgrade this to a cycle path. And this is going to allow people to actually cycle down the river into university. Although I'm going to leave it up to a dirt path to about here. It isn't going to be cycled all the way. And then this guy can come straight off down here and connect up to the crossroads. And of course they don't have any power. My apologies, people. Let's actually go ahead and paint in a little more residential along these parts here. Up to there and then up to there. Let's go ahead and knock that out and just paint this in, and hopefully we'll get someone. Yeah, power's connecting in now. That's wonderful. So got a nice little high street starting to form along here right now. So the farmland we'll paint out. We're not going to actually start it today. I want to save that, kind of making a bigger park, a bigger farmland for its own episode. So I'm just going to follow that greenery in and around. And then what I'm thinking for this high street here is I'll show you what I'm going to do. Let's paint this all up to the border. This is a lot of fertile land, so this is a good chance to make some money. I want to go ahead and grab a normal medium road. And then I'm going to have one entrance to the farm through here. So let's go ahead and knock that in and then grab a bit of a farm building. Farm main building. This can reside along here. And this is going to turn us into farmland. Now what I am thinking of doing is actually knocking that back a touch. Let's turn our snapping on for this. I'm going to bring this guy up alongside so then I know that this road here can become a dirt road. Now I do want, let's go ahead into our farm buildings. Now because we've already built a farm building over here, we do have the rest of the unlocks, and that means that we can place them all here. It doesn't mean you have to start again in a new area. Once you've unlocked buildings in another area, you can use them in level 1s as well. So that's going to be handy for getting some animal pastures in here. I see, I don't want them here, so I want them to back on to this road. So let's have a look how deep they are. Okay, I'm about a block too short there. So let's go ahead and bring it in there. Okay, we're about a block too deep. So let's try it again. And hopefully it looks as though the alignment is just slightly out. But that's no problem. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. So again, you need to be careful. These things do produce noise pollution. So it's important that they are not near residential areas. At least within that radius that comes off them anyway. So just be wary of that. Okay. So these guys right now, you know, they're saying they don't have enough crops. Actually, you know what? I don't want animal pastures here. I want crops. My mistake. Let's go ahead and grab the medium fruit field in. I'm going to drop this in. 3 of them along here. And then as you're kind of driving through this small farming village, you know, the farm is integrated into the village. And then let's go ahead and fence this area off. As you guys know that I absolutely live for a fence. Let's go ahead and bring this all the way down. There we go. Now as you can see, we have a nice fence area going along here. Now for areas like this, where you can't really place anything in, there is something really cool that you can do. I'm going to go ahead and show you that. Let's go ahead and drop this in. Up to there. If you just kind of box it off, you can kind of make this look as though it is like a little bit of an abandoned field that the farmer doesn't really use or can't use because it is too small, and it's just going to box off these street corners really nicely rather than leaving them totally empty. So just by placing a little bit of a fence, you can still have that farm feel. So bear that in mind. This guy has no power. He will be linked up eventually, but we'll give him a little bit of a temporary line right now. But next episode we are going to work on expanding this, and Bill and Ted, don't worry my friend, we will also work on your nature reserve ideas as well. So there we have it, guys. Today we've worked on a nice highway interchange. We've had quite a few time lapses, so I hope you've enjoyed them. If you have enjoyed the video, a like below is very much appreciated. Equally as much if you hated the video or found it totally useless, please feel free to leave a dislike below as well. I'm just thinking I'm probably going to turn the commercial area in this area into renewable commercial, kind of the green city stuff. Let me know what you think of that, but I'm really looking forward to starting on this big, huge farm next episode and expanding this farming community a little bit. But otherwise, guys, that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, please enjoy the rest of your day.